I would, okay, just get over the recorded bit. I'd actually like to say good morning or good afternoon or good evening to anyone that stayed on after those wonderful doctors. I hope today finds you and your loved ones safe and well. My name's Fiona Mary Berry. I'm basically an ASEA Bronze executive from Sydney. And in today's webinar, we're going to explore the possibilities that ASEA as a company represents, both the breakthrough in health and the opportunity. Now, we're going to hear from an amazing speaker. I followed him for quite some time, and I'd like you to introduce Steve. I'd like to introduce you to Steve Aquila. He's been his own independent master since the age of 15. Look, he's got a wealth of experience in life and business. They started their ASEA business 6 years ago, and his lovely wife, Sarah, and himself live in Queensland, Australia, with their 4 boys, and they're lucky enough to be able to do homeschooling for all their children. Stevie and Sarah are high-profile ASEA leaders. They're so passionate about ASEA's mission, which is why I love following them. Stevie, over to you, my love. I'd like to welcome you all to Stevie.
Hey, Fiona, thank you so very much for the kind introduction. And yeah, welcome. I'm glad that you've joined our little team here. So yeah, thank you very much for being here and supporting us, and looking forward to working with you more and fulfilling this mission of ours, right? To go out and better people's lives, be a force for good in the world. So thank you. I really appreciate you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me here. If you're joining us from the last call, thank you very much for carrying on. And if you're here brand new, very warm welcome to you. Really appreciate you and your time. And time is far more valuable than money, because if you had paid money to be here and you didn't like anything that I shared with you today or any of the speakers shared with you, I would quickly and promptly refund your money. But time is non-refundable. And so I am sincerely grateful that you've decided to spend your valuable time here with us. I don't intend to waste it. I intend to share with you some very significant and special information that you're probably going to want to run out and take to everyone who's very special and significant in your life. And I'm not hyping this up. This is all scientific and medical fact that you need to know about. And so again, I appreciate you giving me the time, because I feel very honored that I can be one of those many people out here who are bringing this to everybody's attention. This is very important information. So again, thank you very much for your time, and here we go. So as Fiona said, let me just get my screen moving here. Yeah, as Fiona said, my name is Stevie Aquilina, and my family and I live in Australia. We are originally from Sydney, but now we live on the Gold Coast. About 12 months ago, we moved up here, and it was truly a dream come true when we can make that happen. I love it here. It's beautiful. We're minutes from beautiful beaches, mountains, rainforest, and coastal cities. And I feel very blessed to have a good life up here, and income and time and freedom that now allows me to enjoy a good lifestyle with my family. It's also taken us to many, many parts around the world that once upon a time, way too far out of my reach, because good vibes and good times have not always been the case. I was kind of a difficult, awkward, and weirdo child to school and parent and to raise. I never made the grades, and I was often told on a daily basis that I was stupid and useless. And, you know, I could talk about a number of negative things that happened to me in my upbringing, but that was the worst, because when you're told something often enough, especially while you're young and impressionable enough, you kind of start to believe it, as I did. So I later became a teenage runaway and a high school dropout. With that kind of thinking, I walked myself way off track on life's journey throughout my teens and 20s. I was hanging out with the wrong crowd. I was doing and getting into the wrong things, way on the wrong side of life, to be honest with you. When I did try to sort myself out, it wasn't an easy road, because I didn't give myself a good head start. I had more than 20 different jobs in far less that time. For over a decade, I was a very dumb but very good looking bouncer in what used to be the most popular and notorious nightclubs in Sydney, all for the wrong reasons. I had big dreams, and I wanted to be, do, and have more. I really wanted to give more, actually, but I had little self-esteem, and so I did little with my life and had little to give. Physically, always been athletic, even to right now, in a very ancient, actually, martial arts. Back then, in my younger years, you wouldn't have known it, but I had pretty severe health troubles. autoimmune disease, inflammatory diseases, severe skin, respiratory, and gut diseases most of my life. Lots of bad injuries from very hardcore martial arts. Financially, I got myself stuck in go nowhere jobs with hopes, prospects, and financial security going nowhere. No financial dignity, embarrassingly broke. Phone, electricity, and gas has been cut off. I've not been able to run my car on anything more than just the fumes of petrol. I've not been able to pay the rent, and I've been evicted. I mean, embarrassingly broke. And look, I always believed in possibilities, but I doubted my potential. And that kind of contradiction led to confusion, unfulfillment, unhappiness, frustration, and just being trapped in unable to be who I wanted to be. Now, things really were changed for me. This lady kind of saved my life, really. She's now my wife and the girl of my dreams. I knew that when I first saw her, that more than ever before, I needed to become more. If I was going to have something as good as her, I had to become more good. She believed in me and always told me that I was more right from the start. And that really saved my life. I guess when you're told something often enough, right? Now, also, big turning point for me was I was introduced to this company's life-changing breakthrough, life-changing opportunity, and life-changing training. The company leaders are extremely successful people, and they believed in me too for some reason. And more importantly, though, taught me how to believe and become more. And so now, instead of having these health and wealth problems, I've solved them. I have the honor of helping others to solve them too, because of this life-changing breakthrough and the life-changing financial opportunity that runs behind that. And instead of confusion and insecurity and indignity and in being embarrassingly broke and frustrated and trapped and unable to be who I want to be, I now have the ability to believe and become more and give more, which is what it's always been about for me, to be honest with you, because this company's training has shown me a life-changing better way. And so now I want to spend the rest of my life doing nothing less than bettering people's lives in at least any one of these life-changing ways. And so by some small measure today, I hope to do that with you by presenting to you the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Now, medical experts say this is a great breakthrough, greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin that for 2 decades science had declared was impossible. This is a breakthrough with enormous potential, and that is proven by renowned universities. A very advanced breakthrough, which is considered to be 15 years ahead of its time. And any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results, and drug companies wanted it all shut down, but more about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, let's be clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you're seeing on the screen, nor like anything else you've ever seen before if I can't fit it on the screen. What I'm going to be talking about here goes well beyond drugs or nutrition and well beyond any type of ingredients or technology you already know about, because what I'm about to show you is an entirely new frontier in science. And I mean, it's truly groundbreaking. I mean, it's category creating, and it is a very big and important healthcare breakthrough. The ASEA Redox cell signaling technology is a drink that contains active redox signaling molecules. Well, what are those? Redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. So they're native to your body. They're in your body. And they are your cellular messengers that affect your cell-to-cell communication, and then therefore your cell-to-cell operation, everything, all the way down to your genetic expressions in a positive way. Now, hear me when I say that redox signaling is a remarkable process, because it is the actual process that empowers your body to heal itself. By redox signaling molecules, telling your cells how to protect healthy cells, repair unhealthy cells, and replace damaged cells. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, infection. Look, the bottom line is this: redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. Why is this all so important? We are all made of cells. And because we live and die at the cellular level, what our cells are doing determines what our body is doing, and that determines how healthy we are. And what is the forerunner of all of that? Redox signaling molecules. They are the keys to life. They are literally essential for the activation and function of all of our normal physiology. Everything in our body critically depends on redox signaling, critically, because if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than just a few more mere seconds. Without your redox signaling molecules, life ends. So if our bodies already make redox signaling molecules right now, why do we need to give our bodies more? Well, when we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. And that is generally why children have so much energy and how they can run around all day. Notice that? And how they can wake up the next day and they're not sore. They're ready to run around all day again, and how they bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, with age and stress and poor diet and toxins and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down. And therefore, our body's ability to make redox signaling molecules also breaks down. And without as many of these redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection and healing process and every single system and function of our body becomes slow and breaks down too. Our cells break down more and more. So does our health and our wellness and our youth and vitality. Now, ASEA takes science seriously. They are highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities, world-leading laboratories, allowing those outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of ASEA redox signaling supplements, demonstrating the safety and efficacy and certifying them as safe and effective in everybody. Now, ASEA is within a very real and significant space of science because redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research. The first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of a redox signaling molecule. Since then, there have been multiple redox signaling molecules discovered, with multiple Nobel Prizes being awarded for research in this field of redox biochemistry. And if you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published in the National Library of Medicine, and if you typed in redox signaling in the search bar there, you would see well over 33,000 results. There are more than 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling. This slide is already out of date, by the way, with around 150 studies coming out almost every single month. According to medical researchers, and as reported in the Huffington Post and a lot of other mainstream media, by the way, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. There are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are global medical conferences being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And as for ASEA, outside of all of this, we are already light years ahead. Now, ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits. That translates to health at its most foundational level. And here's just one example. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways. In other words, affect your genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. Now, these genes that we've just mentioned are key in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways too. Moreover, from this, ASEA redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and your body's own efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies from this show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. The head professor of that university study said that one of the most important effects of ASEA on disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Significant because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. Now, on top of that, from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. They're already in you, your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to be able to when it was younger and healthier. So if you have health challenges, or if you have people that you care about who do, if you have a wish to look, live, and feel young once again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, whether it be athletically or just in your everyday life, Any health goal you can think of, Redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. And on that note, you don't need to take my word for it if you don't want to, because I'm going to allow you to listen to some medical doctors right now so you can listen in on what they have to say. Here we go.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with a SIA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. So what can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it. People need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
A SIA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with a SIA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. You can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
Now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, I'd like to show you what's possible from the outside in. And this is made possible by SIA's topical versions of Redox technology, Renew 28 Redox Gel and our Intensive Redox Serum. These Redox technologies are further supported and enhanced by the complementary all natural ingredients products, our Gentle Refining Cleanser and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. But a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's just show you what our Redox technologies are actually worth with these pictures, showing amazing health, anti-aging and age reversing results. Lines and wrinkles are smoothed out, elasticity comes back to the skin, blemishes, spots, dots, marks, irritations, inflammations, aggravations, other signs of poor health to the skin being renewed. For young people too, being rejuvenated and improving the quality of life more than just skin deep. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions are coming back to the proper surface of the skin. This is Rosie, and the dramatic difference you're seeing in the first two pictures on the left could not be seen by Rosie because she didn't take those pictures. And by the way, Rosie believed that the products weren't even working at all. Rosie went to see a doctor. That's, by the way, who told her about ASEA and who took these pictures for Rosie. And when Rosie told the doctor that the products didn't work, the doctor showed these pictures to Rosie. What do you think the rest of the story is now? Everybody says they want to see how ASEA goes. Fair enough. But Rosie missed the moment-by-moment changes by not taking pictures. And you may miss it too. So please take pictures. And for anything you can't take a picture of, keep a written record instead, because that's how you see how this goes. Some people notice results in a reasonable amount of time, 7 weeks, like Rosie. Others can have a result in around about 7 days. A lot of people can have an experience in around about 7 minutes, but some people, they need to apply more product, time, and patience, generally when there's more going on with their health. What we know scientifically is that redox signaling molecules are all the same in you, me, animals, plants, all life has redox signaling molecules. Studies show that ASEA redox products contain nothing but redox signaling molecules, and that they work. They have an immediate positive effect in every single person, in every single time. In fact, it would be scientifically impossible for them to not work in you and or hurt you. But the truth is, what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. This doctor did a little experiment of his own on his very own face and used Renew 28 on only half of his face, not the other. Can you spot the difference? Now, Renew 28 is not just for the face. As you can see here, an arm, a hand, a belly, more bellies on this slide, and buttocks, thighs. You can use Renew 28 all over. These pictures, however, are from a study by a world-leading laboratory. They did this study because there were many reports coming in from all over the world of people saying, hey, my cellulite has disappeared while I was using Renew 28. And so scientists set upon very strict studies to see, was there any truth to these stories? And they found after just 12 weeks, there was a more than 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. When the scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover how this was happening, they saw the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite was being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. So Renew 28 helps reduce cellulite. Renew 28 also helps soothe skin discomfort after things such as shaving, sun exposure and the like. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It goes far deeper than that. And it can actually reduce discomfort around the body. And you can know about that in about 10 minutes. If you have something that is hurting you, something that is sore around your body, give it a sore score on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 would mean the most soreness, the most hurt. Apply Renew 28 on that sore spot 3 times and time it that you do that within 5 minutes. And usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of discomfort within approximately 10 minutes. Now, nothing I've said here today has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through. And ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases, by the way. Before I carry on with the most significant and special opportunity you may ever see in your lifetime that is running in the background of this very significant breakthrough that you'll probably never see anything greater than in your lifetime. I want to hand this over to Fiona again so she can introduce my best mate, who has a significant story that occurred from the inside that's a little bit difficult to take pictures of, but an incredible explanation of just how important this breakthrough is. So thanks, Fiona. I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you, Stevie. And you can see why with his passion, he's so good at explaining this. But I would really like to introduce Dan Doyle. Now, Dan is basically the gentleman who inspired me. He inspired me to actively research ASEA by using it. And he's been a mentor to us all. His focus is whatever it takes to help you win and live a life with purpose and fulfillment. But basically, to live life with passion, then go ahead and do so. Okay, what I would like to say is his wife, Dan and Suzanne, they're seasoned travelers with this gift of ASEA. And he is number 3 in ASEA. He's our ambassador, triple diamond. He's a member of the $1 Million Club, and his wealth of knowledge and business building is great. Can I please introduce Dan Doyle to you? Over to you, Dan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fiona. Good on ya. Great to hear you guys' voices and be on this call with you. Thanks for staying on the call, everybody. You've done yourself a favor. For anybody who's new on the call, I always like to say that, you know, somebody's handed you an incredible gift, probably one of the most precious gifts that you could receive in your lifetime. Steve was talking about earlier about rate yourself with how your body's going, a SOAR score. And just in regards to that, some people are 2 out of 10, which means it's not too bad. Some people are 10 out of 10, which means it's pretty bad. And I'm going to tell you, I was 100 over 10. So I was in pretty bad shape when I was introduced to this incredible breakthrough. And you're going to hear from my story the impact that these molecules had on my life, on my health, physically, and coming from being a very fit and healthy person to totally losing my health and then regaining it thanks to this incredible breakthrough. So obviously there's many reasons why people look at this. Stevie went through that. You know, it can help a lot of people in a lot of different ways. Mine was all about my health. It was all about survival. And I'm going to go into my story, but before I do, I just want to reiterate the company disclaimer, reiterate what Stevie said, that these products, this technology isn't intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition, but we have something very, very, very powerful, which is totally non-toxic, which is just incredible. These amazing little molecules that can empower the body to heal itself. So my wife and I, my wife Suzanne and I, we are based here in Honolulu, Hawaii. We do travel the world extensively. This is one of our bases. We have been here in the US for a while now, and we're here to help people. We're here to help people with their health. That's what I'm passionate about. And with what I experienced, I've got to give back. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't tell my story, which you're going to hear about right now. So going back many years, growing up in Sydney, Australia, I'm the kid that hated school and did everything to distract myself from school, homework, which I never did, and that was playing sports. I used to thrive. I used to love playing sports and excelling in many sports. At the age of 5, I went into rugby and played that for until I was 17, and in my early teens, over and above that, I was doing judo, gymnastics. In my late teens, I was doing aerobics and surfing. I started picking up weights at the age of 13 and started putting on a little bit of size with muscle, and this was me at the age of 24. So I ended up a bodybuilder in one of definitely my last sport. And back then I went into traditional business. So I left the banking system. I used to work for Westpac, one of the big 4 banks, but realized I didn't want to work for anybody anymore and went out on my own. So this was the start of building and selling many traditional businesses over 20 years. As a matter of fact, I built and sold 20 traditional businesses, most of them predominantly from inception, and employed about 3,500 people over that period of time back in Australia. So we fast forward from the age of 24 to 44. I'm not going to show you photos of me half naked for this whole presentation, but just wanted to show you how I still used to keep fit and healthy. Not a bodybuilder anymore, not lifting weights, but doing a lot of cardiovascular work. I was in the gym at 6:30 every single morning. And, you know, back then at 44, I just wanted to, leading up to 50, be the best version of a 50-year-old that I could be. And now at 54, you know, nearly 54, 10 years later, I still keep myself fit and healthy, and I want to be the best version of a 60-year-old that I can be. So this is me at 44, and you know, as much as I look fit and healthy, I can tell you guys, and I felt it, I was in a lot of trouble with my health, and I didn't know it back then. But 6 months later, in 2011, I got some really bad news, and this is the start of me going through 2.5 years of hospital visits. And you can see I've got no hair from the top of my head to my toes. And what they put me through in that hospital, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It was a horrendous time. All I could think of is the elderly and children going through the exact same thing when I was a very fit and healthy 44-year-old. And what I was going through, to be honest with you, I couldn't physically handle. And there were many times going through what I went through that I didn't want to be here anymore. This is a young friend of mine, Johnny Manor. He played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. He was 21 years old here in this photo. And he'd been through all the hospital visits that I had started here. He had what the doctors would have considered to be the good one, and I had two of the bad ones. He went into remission. He went back to playing rugby and back to excelling in his sports at the age of 21. After this photo was taken, unfortunately for Johnny, his issue came back. He went back into hospital. He started losing all his hair again, lost a whole lot of weight. Unfortunately for Johnny, he never came out. We lost him at the age of 23. So here I am thinking to myself, well, if Johnny didn't have a chance, what chance do I have when he had the good one and I had the bad ones? And he was less than half my age and fit and healthy. And at my age, as I said, what hope did I have back then? Well, as a matter of fact, at the end of my 2.5 years of what the doctors put me through, I asked the question, what's going to happen now? And they hit me between the eyes as I hit them between the eyes with that question. And they told me to get my affairs in order. So at that point, knowing what I knew from what they were telling me, I made a decision to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. I did some research. My research led to an alkaline diet, totally cleaned up my diet. And I also spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water, all these things to help my body move and head in the right direction. So this next photo is a photo of me looking after myself for 2 years. And you would think with everything that I was doing, with being on an alkaline diet, eating deep sea fish, organic vegetables, organic salads, some good clean drinking water, all this supplementation I was on, you would think I would be looking better and feeling better. But I can tell you that was not the case. So what the doctors were doing, that wasn't working. What I was doing wasn't working. This is a photo of me now in 2014. Blood work's still heading in the wrong direction, still in a lot of trouble with my health. Nothing was working. A friend of mine calls, Bart Cotter. He said, I think I found something that can help. Long story short, I got onto a plane from Sydney, Australia, and I flew to Salt Lake City, Utah, met Bart Cotter in the headquarters of this company, ASEA, cellular health company, the only complete cellular health company in the world, started drinking these amazing little redox sealing molecules. Long story short again, 3 hours my body was expelling things from it so fast I had little red spots all over my upper torso. In 12 hours, a 20-year stomach problem had gone away. Caffeine intolerance, any more than 2 coffees, buckled over with the discomfort and bloating the whole day. The light bulb went on 2 to 3 days on the product. I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital where I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. My lungs were functioning perfect in 2 to 3 days on this product. So I went back to Australia, feeling highly confident with what this was doing for me, what I had experienced in a short period of time, that my health was going to continue to head in the right direction. So kept drinking the product. Long story short again, let's fast forward 1 year, end of 2015. This is the day the doctors told me no sign of those 2 major challenges. Multiple injuries from playing sports had gone away, which they were all turning into that crippling issue as I was getting older. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose, and dealing with those issues for many, many years, 2 decades. All sorts of problems that had literally gone away in 1 year on this product. My whole body had been rebuilt top to bottom, drinking these amazing little molecules. Now let's fast forward another 2 years, and you can see I was looking younger again, definitely feeling younger again. Always like to go back to 2014, 1 week before I started on the product, 1 week before I left Australia to head to Salt Lake City, Utah, to start using this product, to try this product. You can see how I was looking. What you're seeing on the outside is a reflection of what was going on the inside. This is 1 year on the product. Same thing. Got my health back. What you're seeing on the outside, a reflection of what was going on the inside. As time went on, 3 years on the product, my complexion, a reflection of what was going on the inside at that time. that was my journey back to health, back to looking younger and feeling younger. Incredible journey when it came to that. Gave me huge belief in the product. Started sharing this with others. It became a responsibility to do so. Something that Stevie will talk about shortly is an incredible opportunity to help people and receive thank you checks for doing so behind this incredible breakthrough. It was the ability to do that that actually saved my life. If it wasn't for being able to help people with this platform and receive thank you checks for helping those people that the company sent me, there's no way I could afford the product, more product that I invested in to saturate my body, to get these molecules to the damage, to signal my body to where the problem was. So guys, not only I can see that this is the most compelling opportunity that anybody could have to achieve their health goals, but also a compelling opportunity for an individual to take them to wherever they want to go financially as well. With that, I'm going to hand back to these guys to explain the opportunity behind this incredible breakthrough, to elaborate a little bit more too on what this is and what we've got our hands on. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Danny. Really appreciate you, mate. Always doesn't matter that I'm here every single week. I love tuning into your story because you know it's so significant, and it's such a great inspiration for others out there who might be challenged as well, you know, with their health or with their wealth. And I am especially grateful to you because out of all the leaders I showed pictures of, you were the first, mate, to take me in under your wing and believe in me long before I could, and teach me not only that I could become more, but show me exactly how to become more as well. So I'm forever grateful to you, mate. Appreciate you. All right, folks. Well, let me carry on here, if you will allow me to do so, and share my screen here just for a little bit. All right. So as Danny said, look, with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. And the greater the breakthrough, the greater the opportunity. And ASEA is a life-changing breakthrough. And that's created a life-changing financial opportunity behind all of this. And that is to better people's lives. And that's a tremendous force for good in the world that you can join. Now, ASEA is the world's first and only redox signaling supplement for two very simple reasons. For nearly 3 decades now, nearly 30 years, no one other than the medical scientists who've worked with ASEA in the background, no one but they have been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. Now, for nearly 20 years before ASEA's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was all impossible. And by the way, ASEA redox signaling technologies contain nothing but redox signaling molecules, as proven by very significant and renowned science. Bioagilitics is partnered with most of the top pharmaceutical companies in the world. Bioagilitics, in a nutshell, tests products to make sure that what is in those products is exactly what the companies who make those products are claiming are in those products. I hope that made sense. And that's what Bioagilitics does with ASEA. They certify as a third-party scientific validation that we do have nothing but redox molecules in our ASEA redox products. Now, second, ASEA is also heavily patented. That means ASEA is not allowed to be copied. But the truth is ASEA can't be copied anyway, because there's no way to look into a bottle of ASEA and figure out from there how you can reverse engineer it, how you can make it for yourself, because there are no secrets in the bottle, because there are trade secrets in the actual making of ASEA. And so it really can't be copied anyway. And that means we have no copycats, and that means we have no competition, and that means no one in the world has what ASEA has. No one. Therefore, no other products in the world can do what ASEA does. None of them. Nothing else in the world has redox signaling molecules in it. They'll try to come up with clever marketing to sound and act like they do, but they don't have redox signaling molecules. Only ASEA does. And therefore, nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in such a significant way in the human body as what ASEA can. Because redox works in every body. Because everybody needs redox. Because nothing in the body works as well or at all, in fact, without redox. And redox can't hurt anybody. And no other products can make these claims. No juice, pill, super shake, fancy water, CBD oil, or whatever it might be, or however good it might be, it's not as good as redox sealing molecules. And in fact, it can only work as well as there are enough redox sealing molecules to make it work in the body, right? So ASEA holds massive opportunities over and above and across everything else in all health science sectors: health and wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. These are multi-trillion-dollar industries, by the way, and one breakthrough is completely advancing all of them. And so ASEA really is an entrepreneur's dream. Now, our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We can't do that on our own, and so we look for people to help spread the word. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money just by sharing Redox with others, and it works as simply as this. We personally share ASEA with customers. We grow and expand a global network of others who also want to do the same. And that won't be everybody, and that's fine. But along the way, you will find, and people will find you who want to join this mission of ASEA. Now, this puts you in business for yourself. You can be your own boss, but you will never be in business by yourself, because together we work to improve the productivity of the network you've built. And you can do that along with us as we've built networks locally, regionally, and nationally and internationally. And so you get paid money just by sharing Redox with others and helping others to do the same. So for people looking for either an extra or part-time or full-time or big time, or maybe a legacy leaving income for loved ones, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions, to be able to afford making goals, dreams, and desires a reality. ASEA helps you create income that is both residual and leveraged. What I mean by that, you receive a residual income. That means not just from the first purchase, but from all of the residual, all of the repeated ongoing purchases made by everyone you refer to ASEA. On top, you also received unlimited leveraged residual income from all of the repeated purchases made by all of the introductions of those people and their contacts, and so on and so on. There are no limits to how far and wide and deep these referrals can go. And because you can refer as many people as you like, and those people can refer as many people as they like, and you get paid for all of it, the residual and leveraged income potential here is unlimited. So we do this all the time already, really. Stop and think about it for a moment. We recommend good movies, TV series, restaurants, cafes, books, etc., etc., etc. And 99.9999% of the time, we don't get paid anything for that. People are always telling people who then tell other people who then tell even more people, and it goes on and on and on when it comes to a good thing. And ASEA is a great thing. And word of mouth marketing is the oldest and still today #1 most powerful, effective, trusted, and listened to form of marketing in the world. And there's no limits, especially with how connected the world is today. Word spreads worldwide. ASEA is currently in 35 countries. We have in the past opened up new countries every single year. We've been in business now for over 10 years. We're in our 11th year. From year one, we had zero debt. We were profitable from day dot. And every single year, we've remained debt-free and increased in profitability year after year after year, even in these more difficult couple of years that we've had around the world. Based on existing trends, not guesswork, but based on existing trends, and obviously future projections are exceeding more than $500 million by the year 2025. Residual income is very impressive. Being able to make money on your days off, on your holidays, being able to make money while you sleep, that's all impressive. But really, residual income is very important because you have residual bills. So why not have residual income? Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65? Out of every 100 people, only one is wealthy. Only 3 are financially secure. And then 7 must still work to survive at 65. And look, they're not working because they want to. That's different. These people are working because they have to. They're a slave to the dollar. But worse still, 74 out of every 100 are dependent on welfare by 65. It doesn't sound like a good retirement plan to me. It doesn't sound like a good financial plan that we're on. It sounds like a financial failing plan to me. And this frightened me a lot. I had to figure out what's one of the main financial principles these top 4% seem to figure out that me and the other 81% don't. And it was this. It's how to make money that's no longer dependent on your paid by the hour, selling your precious time for money or own labor or own activity, job, otherwise known as active income. The truth is, sooner or later, you won't be able to be as active as you are right now, and therefore you won't be able to have as much active income as you have right now. This is very concerning for me because my active income was already not enough as it was, and at times it wasn't anything. This is one of the big problems 81% of people get trapped in. So yes, there's a lot of people out there that need this for their health, but there are a lot of people out there that need this for their wealth. You can't argue with the stats. Money is an excellent servant. It's a terrible master, though. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will be a slave for money until you take the long sleep. Now, I'm not saying jobs are bad. They're a good place to start for most of us. If you truly do love your job, by the way, keep it. You're totally blessed. But still find a way to make money outside of your job that won't interfere with what you're currently doing, because only relying on a single source of active income is actually a risk to your financial security. So for people who are smart, who've been wanting to be in the right place at a right time, who are able to recognize a good thing, and for people who have decided, I need to take control of my finances, my future, my freedom, for people who aren't happy with the amount of money that they have or how they have to make it, or for people who have dreams and want something more for themselves and for others, the series is a very significant opportunity to be paid a very significant residual income from the inevitable growth of this global expansion and afford you those dreams and give you that real freedom. Now, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives, and that's what you get to do with a seer. Now, you can make really great money here, that's for sure. You can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations around the world. And you can have a really great time meeting great people and great friends and great experiences and have a great lifestyle for sure. But really, at the end of the day, it is the effect we have on others, which is one of the most valuable currencies there is. And that is the heart of a seer. The truth is that after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars in 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies proving a seer, those big drug companies offered to pay a seer huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the seer Redox technology. However, those drug companies wanted a seer to shut down and to take everybody off the Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son, Tyler Norton, they had the great foresight to see grave concerns in such a deal, because Virtus and Tyler saw people, not profits. They saw people who had come from very severe health challenges that had once left them and their doctors feeling hopeless, like Danny's, to then these people being able to experience life-changing power with Redox. And when Virtus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they couldn't in good conscience sell out. And so that's why they didn't. They said no to the payout and yes to the people. Now, one of ASEA's foremost guiding principles was demonstrated here, as is perpetually demonstrated in every decision they make, and that is to always put people and principles before ego and economics. The ASEA founders and corporate team come from big backgrounds, up to Fortune 50 backgrounds, in fact, and they're exceptionally experienced in running very big, profitable, and global companies, but their corporate soul revolves around putting people first. And so their mission, which is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world, is true. And so you're in very good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you. Let them know what stood out to you the most. If you have any questions, ask them. They can point you to where you can find the answers easily. There's plenty of university studies if you want to go cross-eyed looking at that stuff. But most importantly, there's hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing Redox experiences for you to see. You can see these people. You can probably talk to them and reach out to them if you want to. You'll be able to see this is the real deal. But far more important than a third-party study is a first-party study. So if you want to be happier and healthier and live younger, stronger, longer, just become an ASEA customer and experience this for yourself. However, if there's more in your heart, you have more dreams and desires, you want to be able to be, do, have, and able to give more. If you want to help people be happier and healthier, if you want a better life, income, lifestyle, if you want to increase the prosperity of the planet, then you can become part of this Redox reality and you can become more. And if you'll pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others. And as a byproduct of that, your life will become better in many, many ways. So thank you very, very much for spending this time with me. Appreciate you. May you always be happy and well. Thank you ever so much, Dan. And thanks very much, Fiona, for looking after us. Appreciate you
You're
all.
most welcome. Thank you very much, Stevie, and thank you for sharing your story on your life. Look, it really basically truly summarizes you. You know, your courage is basically not the absence of fear, but courage means you can move forward in the face of fear and defeat it. And I think that that is definitely you. And Dan, thank you so much for giving us the time and going through what you've done. I'd like to point out something to everybody on this call that's really powerful. There's no coincidences, guys. Every action has a divine plan. And if Dan hadn't actually taken the responsibility of his own health into his own hands, he personally had gone out and done this, I wouldn't be here learning an experience, and you wouldn't be able to have the benefit of this call to give you this info. So thank you, Dan, for sharing your time and sharing it with us. And finally, just basically on behalf of everybody on this call, thank you for taking the time for you to align yourself with a seer. Have a look at the decision to be a force for good in this world. And before I go, I actually want to give you one of the biggest lessons that I personally learned. You can focus on the reasons why you must make your dreams come true, or you can focus on the excuses why it can't be done. What do you want more? Your dreams and health or excuses? Thank you all very much for your time. On behalf of Stevie, Dan, and myself, have a wonderful time and get back in touch with the person who invited you to this call. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone.